We finally reached the end of the Goku versus Beerus fight. It took majority of this episode like to the 14-minute mark or so where the fight kept going. I'm not even gonna lie, after a certain point I was like, Goku, just stay down, bro, you're not winning this one. So yeah, definitely, I mean, overall the fight as a whole amongst all the episodes and everything definitely felt very long-winded, but we finally got a victor. And the way they switched things up from the, movie to this, and even the manga is different, kind of makes me wonder as far as like what the manga is doing, how different the actual anime is going to be, because we've already seen that the manga is pretty different in comparison to what they're doing with the anime. But I mean, even the end of the fight, because if I'm correct, the way it was done in the manga was, it was like Goku was tired, Beerus was tired, and then Whis was like, alright, enough already with this fight. But the way they did it in this actual episode was pretty much Goku just got knocked the fuck out, and Beerus did him dirty and did him really in. And the interesting thing about it that I like that they kind of kept intact, even though it was still different from the movie, was Beerus ultimately still had a lot more power than Goku, which leaves for an interesting, hopeful rematch later on down the road with Goku and Beerus, because it's kind of like, okay, Beerus was still on a whole other level that he was holding back. And as far as like the whole thing, because if I'm correct, in the manga, it was just like nothing even was addressed about him destroying Earth or something along the lines of that. I forgot what it was. In the movie, he just destroyed a rock and said, okay, there, I destroyed Earth. And in this one, he pretended to fall asleep. At first, when it was just that, oh, he fell asleep coincidentally at the right time, I was like, this is so stupid. Thankfully, it was that he was faking it, and it kind of showcased Goku's power, and rising to the occasion is what actually changed Beerus' mind. So in that aspect, it's like, okay, Goku was super fucking strong to the point where Beerus was like, oh shit, this ain't nothing to fuck with, but I kind of like this. So I'm kind of glad that it wasn't just completely, oh, he fell asleep. But I still kind of in a way prefer what they did with the movie. It just kind of felt a little bit more comical, and at the same time it kind of showcased Beerus in a certain different light, because in this one he just completely didn't want to look like, oh, I'm a good guy, so that's why he faked it. In the movie it was just like, fuck it, whatever, it is what it is. You guys see I'm not that much of an evil piece of shit. And I'm not even gonna lie, when Vegeta caught Goku, it kind of reminded me of something else I've seen recently. It was kind of like, suspect, because I'm sure all the Fujoshi was like, oh my gosh, this showcases that they're really in love. It's like, no, I mean, at the end of the day he just caught him, whatever. But why Vegeta out of all people? Why couldn't that have been Piccolo or something? Like, yeah, they're catering to the Fujoshi with that one. Another thing that they took out, and I don't know if that was just a sub-translation or what, was in the movie, Goku said, oh no, Vegeta, you definitely were stronger than me for a bit when you actually went crazy over my Bulma. But in this version, it was just like, oh, you were an amazing Super Saiyan, you was amazingly strong. So they kind of changed that as well. I don't know if they just wanted to make it clarified, oh no, Goku was never surpassed by Vegeta or what, but like, I kind of like the way the movie did it, because it was kind of like, oh, so yeah, Vegeta was actually stronger than Goku, even if it was for a little bit, giving Vegeta more of that shine that he rightfully deserves. Art and animation for this episode, I mean, the art for, in particular, Goku's character design was definitely off for a lot. It's like, hey, that don't really look like Goku, in particular with the whole Goku versus Beerus fight in the beginning of this episode. It was like, especially in space, Goku's face looked really off, and even underwater, it was like, yeah, the art wasn't all that. It kind of looked purdy, and the colors and everything towards the end of the episode when everybody was calm and chill, but still, some of the character designs were kind of off. Like, I remember Piccolo, I was like, what's going on? But it's par for the course at this point. And last but not least, with Goku recommending Vegeta, don't worry, next time you're going to be Super Saiyan God, is interesting, because at the end of the day, we still don't know how far and how close they're going to be to the movies and stuff like that with the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan transformations and whatnot. However, with this one, if he said, no, I don't want that second-rate power of Super Saiyan God, then that kind of confirms that that really has nothing to do with going into the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan transformation. So, yet again, leads me to curiosity. Okay, then how do you ultimately achieve that? And I thought it was kind of cool as well, Goten not liking that shit. Like, that's my dad at the end of the day. I would love at some given point, and I doubt it'll happen or whatever, but give some character development and some growth for Goten and Trunks, because when I was little, when I saw them, I was like, this is the future right here. These motherfuckers are gonna be enormously strong, and they never really amounted to shit. So with stuff like that, it's like, maybe one day he'll be like, fuck Vegeta. I'm gonna show him right here. I'm gonna kick Trunks' ass just to showcase, yeah, me and my dad are the shit. And with all that being said, I mean, in comparison to the movie and the manga, it had its own touch to it. Certain aspects were definitely not as good as certain aspects. Like, I think the Vegeta was stronger than him line should have been kept in. The way it was done with him faking the sleep, it was kind of like cheesy to a certain degree, but since it was actually fake sleeping, it was like, okay, he didn't want to show that he was actually not that bad of a guy, so that's why he did it. If it would have just been completely like, oh, he fell asleep at the right time coincidentally, I would have been like, yo, are we watching SpongeBob here or what? So yeah, that wasn't that bad. So overall episode 6.5 to a 7. It was fine to good for the most part. I mean, at the end of the day, the art was off for some points, but I'm just glad we're finally done with the Goku versus Beerus, and I guess that's in particular my own sort of feel to it because I've seen the movie so many damn times, read the manga, been watching the anime, so yeah, I'm good on Goku versus Beerus for a while. Anyone else see that next episode preview though? Super Saiyan, Mr. Satan, like, yeah, I think it's gonna be a reenactment of the fight according to Mr. Satan's words, so to speak, kind of how like they had that fake movie at the World Martial Arts Tournament about how he beat Cell. Like, I think it's gonna be something like that, which it's filler, but it might be funny, and at the end of the day, Dragon Ball Super, I've learned to appreciate it for what it is. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about how they did it compared to the manga and the movie, Goku versus Beerus finale, and just overall thoughts of the Battle of Gods adaptation that they did for Dragon Ball Super thus far. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.